Welcome to our explainer video on creating a drill. In order to create a drill, you can simply go to the drill library page, and in the top corner you'll see an option to create a drill. From there, you'll arrive on the create drill page. Now, there are three primary steps for creating a drill, and there's lots of different configurable options. We wanted to give you as the users the ability to create drills as customizable and in any form that you wanted. We expect this process takes between 5 and 10 minutes, but our process is saved after each step if you want to come back to it at a later date. Let's go through with step 1, the basic information. Here, you can enter the name of the drill. You can choose an image for the drill that may be representative of your program that you want to represent, yourself as a coach, or even the drill itself. You get to define a purpose for the drill and how athletes measure success and what equipment is required. In addition, identify the amount of time for the drill, what components of performance the drill have, and then tag your drill in order to enable your athletes or other athletes on the platform in order to find your drill. One thing to note here is that you have the option to make the drill publicly available. If you're just creating a drill for yourself or for your athletes, there's no need to make the drill public. It'll immediately be available for them for use. However, if you would like to share this drill with the wider Iota golf community, simply click the link here to make your drill public, and the Iota golf coaches will review the drill, provide any feedback that's necessary in order to make updates if we feel they are needed, and then approve your drill for public consumption by all of our users. Once we've entered all of our basic information, we can go to our next step where we define our drill instructions. So this can be instructions such as setting up the drill, how to compute scoring, or how to actually execute the drill itself. We can simply just click to add an instruction, enter some text. Maybe it's grab 10 tees is the first step, and then add an image or a video that you want to link to the drill. Once you've added that instruction, in this case we're going to click none, we can save that instruction and add it in there. On our next step here, once we've added in all of our instructions, we can go to our drill scoring and details. There are many options for drill scoring. One of the couple questions that are important to understand here are, is the drill completed multiple times? So in most cases, drills are always going to be completed multiple times, but there are going to be some cases, such as a drill where you define your pre-shot routine, where over time you would simply update the routine, but you really only have one routine at a time, where this drill would not be completed multiple times. In cases like that, you would uncheck this box, but in most cases, you can leave it checked. The second question there is, does the athlete record a single value? So oftentimes drills can record values on a per shot basis, or it can just record a single value at the end. In this case, you get to select whether or not athletes can do that. The athletes recording a single value at the end doesn't limit them from also recording values on a shot by shot basis, but that just means the scoring is going to be done on with that single value. From there, we get to define what shots are going to be done, or in this case, even questions could be added. So we can add a shot or question, define the title, a specific instruction for that shot. So maybe it's different from the drill instructions. Maybe you have a specific shot instruction. The type of shot / question you're going to have. Maybe it's a putt or a sand shot or a specific question. In this case, let's leave it as a putt. Define the lie, distance, and then what value you're recording for this particular shot. So maybe you want to record a proximity value for a putt, in which case the user is probably going to record a numerical value, but you can also identify an additional numerical value. An example where that would be helpful is maybe they're going to perform on course, and every time they miss a green, they're going to add 1 to their score. In this case, your shot or your question might just be like what they scored on the hole, but then you can add an additional score to say, add 1 to your score if you missed the green. Once you've added all that information, then you can save your shot as well. Oftentimes in drills, we're going to have lots of shots that are similar, and so you can simply click this duplicate button to duplicate your various shots, or even rearrange the order of your shots here as well. Once you have that information there, you're good to go with your shots. And you can go to how your drill is scored. Oftentimes the score is going to be relatively straightforward. It'll be a score. Maybe the athlete's going to enter how many putts it took them to complete a 9-hole putting course. Or maybe it's just a completion drill. Did the athlete do the drill or did they not do the drill? If you'd like to use the results from the shots themselves, so as an example, maybe they're going to record how many shots it took them to hole out on each of the 9 holes, you can simply use the shot results as how the drill is scored. You can add up the total, take the average value, or even maybe a distribution of various values. So that might be if you're hitting a tee shot and you wanted to record, is it in play, in the rough, or in a water hazard, be a distribution of various values. Most commonly, you're going to have a total or an average as your results aggregated. And then a question here is, what's the ideal score? Is it higher or lower? In golf, we want the lower score, but sometimes in drills, we want the higher score. In this case, let's choose a score, and we want higher. Afterwards, we also recommend that athletes reflect on their drill and what aspects of the drill worked well for them, where they can improve, or what things they might be able to change. But you as drill creator can get to choose whether or not you want a reflection to be optional, whether the reflection is required, meaning the athlete must enter some form of text into the reflection box after the drill, or whether no reflection is needed at all. Once you've done that step, you can simply finish off and click to save the drill. Obviously, we didn't enter all the information, so I won't go through that step for this video, but that is the overview of creating a new drill. We look forward to seeing your drills and growing our drill library. Thanks so much for watching.